Well, can we look at the line of their returns?
Yeah.
Should we just start with that to kind of trace
you're gonna
that?
just give it
timeline?
all away at the beginning, but I suppose we can do it here.
Well, I think it's like some of those movies where you think you've given it all away at the beginning, and then there's so much more underneath the surface. But I had several clients asking me questions about this fund, just like over the last 4 or 5 months. It was, like crypto lending and earning interest on your crypto and all these different funds. That no more conversations around that are happening right now.
Yeah, but like
so
here
back then
in that
it was
last quarter of
right
19
here.
was when we started hearing a ton about ARK investments.
Or
and
that's
Cathy
20.
Wood.
Yeah, that's 20.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right here at the end of 2019 is when we started hearing a lot about it.
And it's kind of funny because there was a lot of conversation then, and then beginning of 2020 there was a big drop, like just like everything in the market dropped. But then, oh my gosh, for folks who aren't watching the video, you would not want to climb this mountain. Like, this is a bigger mountain than Mount Everest. Sherpas would run away from this mountain that we're seeing here, this climb.
Well, and to put it in perspective for everybody just listening, middle of 2019, the ARK investment ETF was trading at $41 a share. When it started getting a lot of activity and people talking about it was kind of that last quarter of 2019, and it had gone to 50. So that was a pretty good little run up. Then there was a slight rise in the first part of the year. Then COVID hit. They reached their low point of $37 in middle of 2020. I think that started to get them a lot of attention, which we're going to look at the kind of attention they got. A lot of attention because they didn't drop as much as people thought they would. And then they went over the remainder of 2020, which is when I think they jumped into most of the public eye. They went from 37 at the low point in March to 80 by year end. So a doubling of money since the depth of COVID.
Yep. And their peak into 2021, about 300% over 18 months, about 3x in a year and a half. It's huge.
From 37 to 156, yeah.
Right. And this is like a lot of these themes. We saw a bunch of people asking about these funds and these asset classes. And really what this is it's similar to an S&P and a lot of these growth oriented stocks, but even more focused, even fewer holdings, and really specifically around things like technology. Because Tesla, Coinbase are two of the biggest bets that she's made, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the question then is, well, what are we doing? Where is it now? And Paul, we can leave the folks who aren't on video in suspense if you want to talk about some other things before we talk about where we're at today.
Oh no, we gotta give away the end of that, but then we're gonna encapsulate the learning out of it, so we can go ahead and give away the end of the story at the start here. But it went from 150 at its peak near the beginning of 2021 to $30 today. So 150 down to 30. That is an 80% loss, if I did that right in my head. Like that is huge. And especially given that when you look at something like an ETF and you Google their past inflows, where did a ton of the inflows happen? After that bottom and through this rise is when they got most of the inflows. And now they're experiencing some of the biggest outflows of any ETF ever. Especially September of last year was really bad.